only high temperature.
Okay. Yeah, so like a little bit of dry air is a little bit better than.
Yeah, dry air is much better.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully it gets dry quickly. Um, and Dada, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
Nice. I'm doing really well. Enjoying your vacation?
Um, yes, but this afternoon rains, uh, rain a
It
little.
rained.
Yes, it's a little storm because it's very hot, very high humidity, and
Okay.
this is a summer storm.
Okay. That's kind of nice though. Does it cool things down a little bit?
It's good because the temperature has decreased, yes,
Nice.
and
Perfect.
it's a little cool.
It's a little cooler.
Yes,
All right.
the
Nice.
the wine is not so hot.
The what's not so hot?
The wine
The
is
wine.
wine, wind.
Like the wine that you drink?
No, um,
The wind, like the breeze?
yes,
Oh. Okay,
it's
so
not
maybe we could say like the wind cools things down. Or in the wind it's not so hot.
okay. Wind, no?
Wind.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah. Yeah, Heidi,
Yeah,
so what are your plans for today?
plan. Only being still alive.
Trying to stay alive?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like an attainable goal. I think you'll manage. Um, but good luck. All right. Do you think
Because every day many people are dying.
you're really because of the
Yeah,
heat?
because of a not heart stroke, mm,
Dehydration?
dehydration or some stroke,
Heat stroke, maybe?
heat stroke. Yes.
Or sunstroke?
Every day, several thousand people are brought in the hospital,
Wow.
and several percent uh, are dying.
It's pretty serious.
Yeah, very serious.
Okay,
Last
well,
year, over 10,000 people died in summer season.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So
definitely.
it's very important to be alive.
Definitely is important to be alive. Yeah, well, hopefully maybe you find somewhere cool to hang out. Um, and Talal, welcome to class. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. It sounds like your daughter's there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
She's here. She's going for a walk now. Just
Okay. How old's your daughter?
she's 20 months, like almost 2 years now.
Okay, cool. What's her name?
Her name is Rital.
Okay,
You want me to
nice.
write it, maybe?
Maybe it'll help. Um, but so Talal, where are you from?
I'm from Saudi Arabia, but
Okay.
currently I live in Canada.
In Canada. How do you like Canada?
It's so good now because we're in summer. But if you ask me in the winter, I will change my answer.
Yeah, it's a little bit different in the winter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you like to do for fun, Talal? What do you like to do in your free time?
I like it depends now with the baby, like the free time is not as I used before. So
That's true.
like sometimes I like to like walk around to take my daughter for a walk to yeah, teach her something words. I
Okay.
guess mostly or watching some movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, thanks.
And Amp, how's it going?
Hi, teacher. Everything is fine, thank you. What about you?
Doing really well. Thanks for asking. Do you have a good day, Amp?
Yes, well, a little busy. I'm preparing some appetizers, and yes, I'm in baking and
Nice.
preparing the dough. The dough. Yeah.
Cool. That sounds good. What are you baking?
Appetizers.
Yeah, but like specifically?
I don't know the name in English, but it's one that they have nuts on it. That is
Okay.
sweet. Another one is like it's just I have to bake it the surrounded and then put any stuff in it on it with
Okay.
it, yeah, celery, ham, mayonnaise.
Huh. Nice. Sounds tasty and different. Um, all right. And Jose, welcome to class. How's it going?
Hello, Joshua. I'm doing very well. And you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And yeah, so Jose, what's your day been like?
They like always. In the morning
Yeah.
I was working, and in the afternoon I have been learning English.
Sounds just about like always.
Like always.
What'd you do during the rainstorm?
uh, Rainstorm?
Yeah, it rained today in Valencia, I think.
Ah,
What'd you
yes,
do?
yes. A little. Only a little. The temperature has decreased because yesterday the weather was so hot.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess what do you do during rainstorms?
Uh, I was at home.
Okay. Okay. Good. And all right, so if this is maybe just going to be, what is it, the six of us? Let's get started with today's class. So it's going to be a funny story by Tobias Wolff. Talal, can you read the title and the first paragraph?
Okay, sure. Uh, uh, yeah, this is better.
Yeah.
Bullet in the Brain by Tobias Wolff.
It's actually,
Yeah, sorry.
go ahead, Tobias.
Tobias. Okay, sorry. Andres couldn't get to the bank until just before it closed. So, of course, the line was endless, and he got stuck behind two women whose loud, stupid conversation put him in a murderous temper. He was never in the best of tempers anyway. Anders, a book critic known for the weary, elegant savagery, I'm not sure, savagery with which he dispatched almost everything he reviewed.
Good. Nice reading. So savagery?
Savagery. Oh, I see.
Yeah, can you repeat savagery?
Savagery?
And with the dispatched? Dispatched?
Dispatched. Yeah. Dispatched.
Nice.
Okay, thank you.
And Jose, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. With the line still doubled around the rope, one of the tellers stuck a position cloth sign in her window and walked to the back of the bank, where she leaned against a desk and began to pass the time with a man sorting papers. The woman in front of Anders broke off their conversation and watched the teller with hatred. "Oh, that's nice," one of them said. She turned to Anders and added, confident of his accord one of those little human touch that keep us coming back for more.
Good. Where she leaned.
Where she did
Leaned.
leaned.
Um, and teller.
Tell her.
Yeah, so a bank teller. Does anybody know what a
A
bank
bank
teller
teller.
is? Yeah. Does anybody know what a teller is?
People work in a bank to pay, no?
Yeah. So people who you deal with at the bank, they generally will give you your money. They're the people you deal with. Jose, can you repeat hatred?
Yes. Hatred.
And good. Touches.
Touches.
Good. Does anybody have any questions on these first two paragraphs? All right. And Heidi, can you read until customers?
Mm-hmm. Anders had conceived his own towering hatred of the teller, but he immediately turned it on the presumptuous crybaby in front of him. Damned unfair, he said. Tragic, really, if they are not chopping off the wrong leg or bombing your ancestral village. They are closing their positions. She stood her ground. I didn't say it was tragic, she said. I just think it's a pretty rowdy way to treat your customers.
Nice. Okay. Lousy?
Hmm?
Lousy?
Lousy.
Yeah, good. Other than that, you did a really nice job. So maybe Amp, really quickly, can you tell us what's going on here so far?
The man was to the bank. He was listening to a conversation that put him in bad mood. Generally, he is in bad mood.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? That he was in the what? With the,
The line still doubled around the rope. What's that mean?
that it was a long line.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, one of the bank workers like closed her position and like went to the back of the bank just to chat with somebody. So he is mad at he's mad at the bank teller, but then he turns his hatred on the person in front of him. Yeah, really good. And Amp, can you read this next part?
Okay, unforgivable. Anders said, "Heaven will take a note." She sucked in her cheeks, but stared past him and said nothing. Anders saw that the other woman, her friend, was looking in the same direction. And then the tellers stopped what they were doing, and the customers slowly turned, and silence came over the bank. Two men wearing black ski masks and blue business suits were standing to the side of the door. One of them had a pistol pressed against the guard's neck. The guard's eyes were closed, and his lips were moving. The other man had a sawed-off shotgun. "Keep your big mouth shut," the man with the pistol said, though no one had spoken a word. "One of you tellers hit the alarm. You are all dead meat. Got it? You're all,
Good. You're all dead meat.
you are all dead meat.
Yeah, try saying you're all dead meat.
You're all dead meat.
Good. And sawed off.
Sawed off.
Nice. Well done. And let's have Adela. Can you read until the end of the page?
The tellers nodded. "Oh, bravo," Anders said. "Did meet." He turned to the woman in front of him. A great script A, the stern, brass-knuckled poetry of the dangerous classes. She looked at him with trawny eyes. The man with the shotgun pushed the guard to his knees. He handed up the shotgun to his partner and yanked the guard's wrist up behind his back and locked them together with a pair of handcuffs. He toppled him onto the floor with a quick between the shoulder blades.
Good. Let's look at said.
Said.
Man. Yeah, said.
With
And
script. Script.
great script.
A
Eh?
great script.
Okay. And sorry.
Okay.
So it sounds like said. Great script. A. And then knuckled.
Knuckle. Knuckle. Knuckle.
Knuckled.
Knuckle.
And guard.
Guard.
Locked.
Locked.
Handcuffs.
Handcuff.
Handcuffs.
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 And handcuff.
Good. Handcuffs. Make sure you get that H sound.
Handcuffs. Handcuff.
Good. Okay. Taral, can you read the next part?
Yeah. Then he took his shotgun back and went over the security gate at the end of the counter. He was short and heavy and moved with peculiar slowness. Even Torpor buzzed him in. His partner said, the man with the shotgun opened the gate and sauntered along the line of tellers, handing each of them a heavy bag. When he came to the empty position, he looked over at man with the pistol, who said, "Whose slot is that?"
Nice. Okay. Let's look at Torpor.
Torpor.
Torpor, his partner said.
His partner said. Yes, said.
Hefty.
Hefty.
Hefty bag. Yeah.
Hefty bag. Okay.
Good.
Thanks.
Does anybody have any questions here? Okay. What's torpor? Does anybody know? Maybe Jose, what's
Dull.
torpor? Huh? Heidi, what was that?
Dull.
Sorry?
I like dull.
I don't understand. I'm sorry.
D-U-L-L.
Dull. Dull. Can you repeat dull?
Dull.
Yeah. So torpor is like slowness or having little energy. Yeah. Good. And Jose, can you read Until Trap?
Okay. Anders watched the teller. She put her hand to her throat and turned to the man she'd been talking to. He nodded. "Mine," she said. "Then get to your ugly batting gear and fill that bag." "There you go," Anders said to the woman in front of him. Justice is done." "Hey, bright boy, did I tell you talk?" "No," Anders said. "Then shut your trap."
Okay.
Did you hear that?
That was good. To trap. Can you repeat? Hey, bright boy.
Hey, bright boy.
Did I tell you to talk?
Did I tell you talk?
Yeah. And justice.
Justice.
Good.
Justice.
Okay. I think we're good here. Does anybody have any questions here? All right. Heidi, really quickly, can you summarize what's happened so far?
A burglar came into the bank, and they have two burglars. They have shotgun. They are minutes. How can I say? Threatening the customers and tellers. They are afraid of that. And
Yeah. And what?
mhm.
Okay. How does the main character Anders react to them?
Anders is
What's his?
one of the tellers. So
He's
she mhm.
Anders is what?
She put her hand to her throat and trying to. She was scared. She was scary about that. So
Okay.
she put her throat not to utter some sound. Then she looked at the burglar.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the teller. So that's the teller who had put her sign up that said that her position was closed. So the burglars are like, yeah, they want her to get back and put the money from her position into the bag. Anders is our main character. He's the book critic, known for his weary, elegant savagery with which he dispatches almost everything he reviews. Maybe Amp, how does he react to the burglars?
Well, he still have time to argue with the teller, even when they are under that situation, and he
Yeah,
is just showing off in front of her that
yeah.
the robber called him the bright boy.
hmm So he tells it to the woman in front of him that the justice is done
Yeah.
because he's like, okay, well this teller who you were just so mad at just before, now she's in trouble, so justice is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
He makes fun of them for saying dead meat. He's like really flippant about what's going on. He doesn't seem to care too much. Says
Exactly.
the stern brass knuckled poetry of the dangerous classes. He's kind of making fun of them. So we've got to shut your trap. Heidi, can you read until playing games?
Did you hear that? Anders said. Bright boy arrived out of the backyard. Please be quiet, the woman said. Hey, you deaf or what? The man with the pistol walked over to Anders. He poked the weapon into Anders' gut. You think I'm playing games? No,
Good.
Anders said.
Um, yeah, let's stop there. Really nicely done. Questions? All right. Amp, can you read this next part?
No, Anders said, but the barrel tickled like a stiff finger and he had to fight back the titers. He did this by making himself stare into the man's eyes, which were clearly visible behind the holes in the mask, pale blue and rolly red rim. The man's left eyelid kept twitching. He breathed out a piercing, ammoniac smell that shocked Anders more than anything that had happened, and he was beginning to develop a sense of unease when the man brought him again with the pistol.
All right. Titters
Tithers,
and rimmed.
rimmed.
And Adela, can you read until ceiling.
Yes, you like me is yes. No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like me, bright boy, he said. You want to suck me? You change.
Yeah.
No, another said.
Fijarse.
Then stop looking at me. Anders fixed his gaze on the man's shiny one-top shoes. Not down there, up there. He stuck the pistol under Anders' chin and pushed it upward until Anders was looking at the ceiling.
Good. Let's look at wing top,
Wing top.
and upward.
Upward, upper,
Upward.
upper, upper,
Up. Upward.
upward.
Yeah. And nice. Taral, can you read this next part until work?
Okay. Anders had never paid much attention to that part of the bank. A pompous old building with marble floors and counters and pillars, and gilt scroll work over the tellers' cages. The domed ceiling had been decorated with mythological figures whose fleshy, toga-draped ugliness Anders had taken in at a glance many years earlier, and afterward declined to notice. Now he had no choice but to scrutinize the painter's work.
Nice. Really good work going through scrutinize. Let's look at decorated.
Decorated.
Mythological.
Mythological.
And draped.
Draped.
Good. Scrutinize.
Scrutinize. Right?
Nice.
Scrutinize, yeah, thanks.
Good. And Jose, can you read until haystack?
It was even worse than he remembered, and all of it executed with the utmost gravity. The artist had a few tricks up his sleeve and used them again and again. Again and again. A certain rosy blush on the underside of the cloth, a coy backward glance of the faces of the captives and fauns. The ceiling was crowded with various dramas, but the one that caught Anders' eye was Zeus and Europe, portrayed in this rendition as a bull ogling a cow from behind a haystack.
Good. Let's look at executed.
Executed.
And cupids.
Cupids.
And ceiling. And Zeus and Europa.
Zeus and Europa. Zeus and Europa.
Good. Well done. And Heidi, can you read until clown?
To make the cow sexy, the partner had candid her hips suggestively and given her long, droopy eyelashes, through which she gazed back at the bull with satisfied welcome. The bull wore a smirk and his eyebrows were arched. If there had been a bubble coming out of his mouth, it would have said hooba hooba.
And to clown? Heidi?
Yes, finished.
So to clown?
I finished 4 lines.
All right. Whatever, Heidi. Amp, can you read until capiche?
What's so funny, bright boy? Nothing. You think I'm comical? You think I'm some kind of clown? No. You think you can fuck with me? No. With me again? Your history, capiche?
All right, guys. Yeah.
Anders burst out laughing. What is my...
Yeah, stop there.
Okay.
Good. And so, yeah, that's not good. Sorry about that. Anyways, good reading. Does anybody have any questions here? I mean, we're going back to like Zeus and Europa, what he's talking about with the ceiling and the painter. Any questions? Okay. And Adela, can you read until Thalamus?
Anders vast Lothin, sorry. Anders vast our Lothin. He covered his mouth with both hands and said, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. They snorted helplessly through his finger and said, Capici? Oh, God, Capici? And at that the man with the pistol raised the pistol and shot Under right in the head. The bullet smashed Anders' skull and ploughed through his brain and exited behind his right ear, scattering shards of bone into the cerebral cortex, the corpus callosum, back toward the basal ganglia, and down into the thalamus.
Nice. Can you repeat laughing?
Laughing.
Mouth.
Laughing.
Laughing.
Mouth.
Snorted.
Snored.
Snorted.
Snorted.
And capiche.
But in Italian is capici, no?
Yeah, in the States you'd say capiche.
Capiche.
I think that's why it's funny too for him. Yeah, capiche.
Capiche.
And plowed.
Plowed.
Cerebral.
Cerebral.
Good. Questions here? Does anybody have any questions? Nothing? Okay. Talal, are you there? Oh.
No, yeah, I was about to ask about cerebral.
Cerebral.
Cerebral, yeah.
So it's a part of the brain, the cerebral cortex. It's like the part of the brain that you like consider the brain.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah. And Jose, it looked like you had a question too.
Anders was the thieves shoot the gun to Anders, no? And Anders died or no?
Yeah. Well, Anders is gonna die.
Yes.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah.
Well, he's just got shot in the head. We've got only moments left. Yeah. So he's pretty done. You know, the bullet's smashing through his skull, plowing through his brain.
Yes.
Yeah. shards of bone are going to the cerebral cortex. Yeah, so he's pretty gone. Any other questions? And let's have Talal. Can you read the next part?
Okay. But before all this occurred, the first appearance of the bullet in the cerebrum set off a crackling chain of ion transport and neurotransmissions. Because of their peculiar vision, these traced a peculiar pattern, fluctually calling to life a summer afternoon some 40 years past, and long since lost to memory. After striking the cranium, the bullet was moving at 900 feet per second, apathetically sluggish, glacial pace compared to the synthetic lighting that flashed around it.
Okay, so a lot of tough words here. Let's look at cerebrum.
Cerebrum.
And again, part of the brain. Neurotransmissions.
Neurotransmissions.
Yeah.
Transmissions, yeah, neurotransmission.
And then peculiar.
Peculiar.
Yeah, peculiar. Flukishly.
Flukishly.
Pathetically.
Oh, pathetically.
And glacial.
Glacial.
Synaptic.
Synaptic, yeah.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Questions here?
Sorry?
Does anybody have any questions here?
And there was plenty of leisure contemplating how the ball through his brain.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
The ball through his brain, and there was plenty of leisure.
Leisure.
Leisure, contemplating how the ball through his brain.
Yeah, so because of the speed with which signals are transmitted in your brain,
Okay.
he had plenty of leisure, he could relax while this memory played out in his mind.
Okay. In the meantime, okay.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Okay. And yeah, we actually haven't gotten to that yet. So, Jose, can you read? I guess. And it's kind of a tricky one. Yeah, I guess read just this part right here.
Okay. Once in the brain, that is, the ballet came under the mediation of brain time, which gave Anders plenty of leisure to contemplate the scene, that in a phrase he would have abhorred passed before his eyes.
Okay. Scene.
Scene. The scene.
And leisure.
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 Yeah.
And I'm gonna actually. I don't think this is bad. Okay, and Heidi, can you read the next part?
It is worth nothing what Anders did not remember, given what he did remember. He did not remember his first love, Sherry, or what he had most madly loved about her. Before it came to irritate him, her unembarrassed carnality, and especially the cordial way she had with him, which she called Mr. Moore, as in who on looks like Mr. Moore want to play. And let's hide Mr. Moore.
Good. Carnality
Carnality.
and uh-oh. Uh-oh? Okay. And Amp, can you read the next part?
Anders did not remember his wife, whom he had also loved before she exhausted him with her predictability, or his daughter, now a Solon professor of economics at Dartmouth. He did not remember standing just outside his daughter's door as she lectured her bear about his nothingness and described the truly appalling punishments Paws would receive unless he changed his ways.
Yeah. So Paws is the name of her stuffed animal bear.
Mhm.
If that seemed kind of confusing. Yeah. I think you did a good job. And Amp, Adela, can you read the next part?
Yes, he did not remember a single line of the hundreds of poems he had committed to memory in his youth, so that he could give himself the shiver at will, not silent upon a peak in Darien, or my good, I heard DJ, my gosh, I heard DJ this day, or all my pretty ones. Did you say all, or Hellkite, all? None of this did he remember, not one. Anders did not remember his dying mother saying of his father, I should have stopped him in his sleep. Stabbed? Sleep. Stabbed?
Stabbed.
Stabbed.
Youth?
Youth?
Yeah, youth. And
Youth. Gosh? God?
God.
Because it's the pen, no?
Yeah, my God, I heard this day. I guess it's a
God.
poem, so it's not, too bad, but you could skip it for gosh. Talal, what about the next one?
He didn't remember Professor Joseph telling his class how Athenian prisoners in Sicily had been released if they could recite I-class, and then reciting I-class himself, right there in the Greek. Anders didn't remember how his eyes had burned at those sounds. He didn't remember the surprise of seeing a college classmate's name on the jacket of a novel not long after they graduated, or the respect he had felt after reading the book. He didn't remember the pleasure of giving respect.
Good. Sicily?
Sicily.
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 Yeah. And I think you did really well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce Aeschylus. Aeschylus, I don't really know. So you did a good enough job there, I'd say. Jose, can you read the next part?
Okay. Nor did Anders remember seeing a woman leap to her death from the building opposite, his own just days after his daughter was born. He did not remember shooting. Lord have mercy. He did not remember deliberately crashing his father's car into a tree, of having his ribs kicked in by 3 policemen at an anti-war rally, or waking himself up with laughter. He did not remember when he began to regard the heap of books on his desk with boredom and dread, or when he grew angry at Wright for writing them. He did not remember when everything began to remind him of something else.
Good. Shouting.
Shouting, shouting,
Deliberately.
deliberately,
Deliberately.
deliberately, deliberately,
Laughter.
laughter,
And dread.
dread,
Writers.
writers, writers,
Nice.
writers.
And Heidi, can you read the next part?
This is what he remembered. Heat, a baseball field, yellow grass, the rear of insects, himself leaning against a tree, as the boys of the neighborhood gather for a pickup game. He looks on the others are the relative genius of Mantle and Mays. They have been avoiding this subject all summer, and it has become radius to Anders, an opposition like the heat.
Nice. Okay. Let's look at whir.
Well,
Yeah, the whir of insects. Tedious?
radius,
Tedious.
tedious,
And oppression.
oppression.
Okay, good. Does it mean they've been worrying this subject all summer? Heidi.
I don't know.
Okay. Does anybody have any ideas? Okay, it's just like they're talking about it all summer. They're battering the subject, they're flaying the subject, you could say, or they're exhausting the subject. They're worrying it, so they keep talking about it. They keep talking about the relative genius, the skill of Mantle and Mays, who are 2 baseball players. And he's just tired of hearing it. And Amp, can you read until ask?
Okay. Then the last 2 boys arrive, Coyle and a cousin of his from Mississippi. Anders has never met Coyle's cousin before and will never see him again. He says hi with the rest, but takes no further notice of him until they've chosen sides and someone asks the cousin what positions he wants to play. Shortstop, the boy says. Short's the best position there is. Anders turns and looks at him. He wants to hear Coyle's cousin repeat what he's just said, but he knows better than to ask.
Nice. And Talal, can you read the next paragraph?
Yeah, the others will think he. Am I right, or I should be
Yeah.
Okay. The others will think he's being a jerk, ragging the kid for his grammar, but that isn't it, not at all. It's that Anders is strangely roused, elated by those final 2 words. Their pure unexpectedness and their music. He takes the field in a trance, repeating them to himself.
Good. Really nicely read. Trance.
Trance.
Yeah, trance. Whoops.
Oh, trance.
Really good pronunciation of roused and elated. Ragging the kid for his grammar. What's ragging mean here? Does anybody know?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Does anybody else know?
I don't know, maybe having fun about that.
Yeah. Ragging is like making fun of. Making fun of. So the others will think he's being a jerk, ragging the kid for his grammar. Okay. And Jose,
Okay.
can you read
The,
this
okay.
last part?
The ballet is already in the brain. It won't be outrun forever, or churned to a halt. In the end, it will do its work and leave the troubled skull behind, dragging its comet's tail of memory and hope and talent and love into the marble hall of commerce that can be helped. But for now, Anders can still make time for the shadows to lengthen on the grass, time for the tethered dog to bark at the flying ball, time for the boy in right field to smack his sweet blanket, meet and softly chant, Daisies, daisies, daisies,
Good. Blackened.
blackened,
Tethered.
tethered.
And that can't be helped.
That can be helped. That can be helped.
Good. Jose, can you ask Amp this question?
How does the character change throughout the story?
Well, at the beginning, the guy just was a little arrogant, but with bad mood, and then he just suffering the consequences of his action when he was laughing in front of the man with the gun, and now he is about to die, and he cannot remember what happened during his life. Just he has some short moment
He just has what?
short memories in his mind.
Okay. Yeah. I guess what are the memories? What do the memories show?
When he was mean.
Okay, maybe when he was mean. So let's look at maybe Adela. Some
He
of these.
doesn't. He didn't remember your wife or your life. He remembered about your childhood, no, with friends, and he enjoyed with the to play baseball, no, with friends. I think that is the thought he has before the bullet impact in your brain.
Yeah, so he remembers this kid who says short's the best position they is. And he's strangely roused, elated by those final two words. They're pure unexpectedness in their music. So this is like a really important memory for him. So, Talal, what's his job? What's his job? Do you remember?
Actually, I forgot actually what's his job.
No, that's okay. It's a long time ago. It's right here.
Oh yeah.
Critic.
Book critic, yeah.
Yeah. So a book critic. He's kind of like he works with words, right?
Yeah, right. And I think they say poems or something like that by the
Um,
end.
he liked poems
He like.
yeah, that's one of the memories that he doesn't remember, which are all really important. So if we look at this and we see who he is now, right at the beginning, he's a book critic and he's like wearily and elegantly and savagely dispatches almost everything he reviews. So he's kind of he's really bitter, and at the end we go back to the beginning, and there's this thing that somebody says it's grammatically terrible, and he's in love with the music of it. And so when we look at all of the memories, we can kind of go back and forth between this idea of being in love with things that are not correct and, you know, being like really dry and not caring anymore. Like if we look at his daughter, who's a sullen professor of economics, like we can see that probably when he had his daughter, you know, he was he like lectured her maybe because she lectures her bear about his naughtiness and punishes her maybe. Then his first love, who he madly loved because she was unembarrassedly carnal, kind of ridiculous. And then he doesn't like it anymore. So you go back and you see kind of his progression between being the tight, really bitter person he is now and the person who loved words before. If you look at the poems that his professors read, things like that. Does that make sense to everybody? How we kind of go back and forth between this character and who he is and who he was and how he changed? Does anyone have any questions?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think in front of the possibility to die, they change, they remember a time was happy, and that is
Yes.
a change. They are a movie, no? About
There is
there
movie.
is a movie about I don't remember the actor, but after a similar action, they change because they don't remember nothing. Change your character,
I don't remember anything.
anything. But it's a possibility, no, to change the character, the feelings, etc. That's all. Sorry.
Okay.
When the death was near to him, he tried to remember the good experience along during his life, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a tried. At least how they describe it, due to the peculiar origin traced by peculiar pattern, flukishly calling to life. So it's like by chance is how it's described. Yeah, but I think, especially with what Adela said, maybe it's kind of this thing. Do you like look back on the best times? All right. Yeah. Jose, did you have anything else to say?
No, I don't have anything else to say.
What about you, Talal? What do you think?
I think
Okay, yeah, we'll start with you, Jose.
this history has been funny for me.
This story is funny.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the story is hilarious. What about you, Talal? What did you think about the story, just generally?
Yeah, maybe it's funny, but actually, like, it's kind of real. We have here like many people who got like accident or something, and they really like their personality is changed after that.
Hmm.
So yeah, like who knows what could happen? Like the future sometimes really totally different than what we expect.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely, the futures can be totally different from what we expect. What about you, Amp? What do you think here?
Yeah, that when you should think how you are in your life and not try to just change in the last moment when you don't have a lot of opportunity to show uh, to the people that love you.
Yeah. Okay. It's good. And yeah, I think one of the things that this tries to show too is like the arch of how he became a bitter person.
Yeah.
Um, so in his very young childhood, I mean, maybe this is like the moment in the baseball field where he realized that he wanted to study literature or he liked to study words because he's like elated by the strangeness, the unexpectedness of these two words. Um, and if you think, you know, he's still passionate when his daughter's born. Um, Somebody's leaping to death and he's surprised and he can't quite believe it. Um, he was passionate enough to have his ribs kicked in an anti-war rally. Um, he deliberately crashed his father's car into a tree. There's like all these signs that he was like a really passionate person um, before. And then he didn't remember, like this is another big point, when the heap of books began to bore him and he dreaded them. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think, oh, I might have lost you guys. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, I might have lost this.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
It looks like my my screen is frozen. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the story. I really like this one.
Okay.
Thanks, teacher.
Yeah, thanks
Take
guys.
care. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye
Thanks
bye.
everyone.
Bye everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye bye.